family. Hi, Erika. Prezzies. Prezzies. Remember yesterday, after my glasses falling off my head continually over and over, I decided to get used to working with your contacts, right? That was the message I think I'm supposed to deliver, is that you get used to certain things, you're comfortable with them, and even when they don't work, you keep going to it because you're used to it, right? So when I first got glasses, I didn't like them, right? I wasn't comfortable with them. And I thought the idea of contacts sounded like a really good idea. But I have monovision because I don't want to have to wear contacts and then wear glasses on top of it. So my contacts are allowing me to see with one eye up close and see with the other eye long distance. And I have to train my eyes because they gave it to me in reverse. They gave it to me with the up close one being my left eye. No, yeah, and my right eye being my distance. And I said, that doesn't work. I'm looking at my computer. I need to see up close. And if I'm driving, I want to look at if my phone rings or if I need any information here, I need to be able to see it, right? So I like the analogy, especially since I am a seer, right? My connection to my spiritual team and my animal totems allows me to see not only things up close, but things from a distance. But it was it's a little uncomfortable. I got to get used to it, right? So maybe you're used to doing something. And my glasses kept falling off my head every time I did anything. It was annoying. I had to keep pushing them up my nose. Mostly it was the fact that they kept falling off. And I was like, okay, I can't this is telling me something. I know that you don't want to deal with the whole contacts things, but get used to it, right? You'll like it. You did it for a reason. All right, so my girlfriend Erika is an artist. This is the soul sister that I met in Wisconsin. We met online actually first. And she's the one who we started talking about my work. I think that's how she figured me out. She was kind of seeing, well, we had mutual friends obviously in the town that I used to live in, Sturgeon Bay. And then we started talking and she started telling me experiences that she was having, and it was very clear that she had gifts. And she's the one who wrote to me and said, after I had left Sturgeon Bay, I think I was in Sedona. I'm not sure if I was in Sedona or back here, but she was the one who said to me that her autistic brother, who has not spoken, he doesn't speak, wrote her a letter. And he apparently, I don't know, am I wrong at the age, Erika? I think he hadn't even done that until just recently. Like he was 26 when he did it. And what he wrote to her, and I have letters on that she sent me, I've posted them before. The letters said, Sherry Columbus, angels whisper, listen to her, she's like me. She works with angels. She's here to help you. And I was like, oh, because I was just starting out, right? And she said, I said, that's amazing. And she goes, well, what's so amazing about it is I hadn't told my family about you or what I was thinking about because they wouldn't really be hip to it, right? I'm seeing vultures flying in a very, very dark, dark sky that wants to rain desperately. I was just checking to see if it was a vulture or if it was my osprey, but no, it's a vulture. Scouting out, right? Song on my banner picture right now, Rise, look it up. When the vultures are at your door, circling, and they think you're out of time, think again. I will rise, right? Think again. Never down for the count. So she said, not only was it amazing because I've never told my family, but he knew your work page too. So that was a confirmation of my gifts, and I love that. And the fact that I was working with spirit, and the fact that he is so freaking connected. Autistic people are. That's why they're so connected. They have so much stimulus from spirit that the outside stimulus is too much for them. So very, very, very gifted individual. And she then began having mediumship experiences. And they were pretty gnarly. She contacted me. She goes, okay, I'm like, she was very upset. And I said, what's wrong? And she goes, I'm in a bathroom of I think it was an old hotel, right, Erika? And there's somebody standing in the mirror and she's half burned. Her body's burned and she's very upset. And I said, okay, just think about, can you imagine how that would feel? I've had experiences in my sleep time and I've not had the visual experiences of the ones coming through me. I have their emotions and what they have to say coming through me. But she's watching this and she's like, I can't freaking deal with this. And I said, just think of that person she's lost, or, she doesn't know why she's still trapped in this place. She doesn't know what happened to her. Tell her that she's safe and that she needs to go into the light. When she sees the light, go into the light. Because sometimes they choose to stay. They don't want to leave the place where they are, their home. They feel like they're abandoning it. You know, think about the symbology of what's going on in our lives, right? Sometimes we don't want to leave a situation, even though that time there is done, because we feel we're abandoning something or someone, or what's expected of us. Wow, didn't know this was going to turn into a reading, but I guess it's important. So I also said, you know, you can talk to Spirit and tell Spirit, look, you know, because she says to me, she's got a very dry sense of humor. She's hysterical. No expression on her face. None. Like dry, straight face. And she comes out with these lines and I'm like, is she, I mean, she's humor. She's so freaking funny. And she's more funny when I read because I can imagine her laughing. But actually in person, it's kind of hard to read her. Right? I used to be a little uncomfortable because I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. Woo, I'm seeing angels, or I just saw an angel orb fly by the screen. I don't know if you guys saw it. It's pretty freaking cool. Come back if you're here, Mom. Or Michael, whoever you're here. Metatron's definitely here because we're talking about autistic children, and Metatron is the angel that works with children and autistic ones. Ones with OCD and whatever anybody else wants to label us, right? So another thing, so I said to her, tell Spirit, you know, because she goes, I can't be sitting at lunch with a client and have somebody show up at the table. Now I did that with my spiritual twin. He was at work, right? And I showed up. I didn't know what was happening because he was thinking about me, obviously, and I ended up going there. And it was in the middle of his day. Well, he might have been on the other side of the planet because it was my dream time, right? And I showed up and he looked at me and he goes, hello, Mrs. Columbus. Like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing here. I just came. You're clearly calling me, right? So shut your channel down because you're pulling me in. So that's another message for ones who have autistic children, ones who have children with gifts, and even adults who don't know how to use that yet. Pull your channel in. Sometimes your channel is broadcasting far out, right? And you're pulling, or maybe your channel is open and you need to learn how to close your channel in. Like, you know, when you have a broadband radio or CB radio and you pick up, you know, and you pick up the neighbor's conversation, right? That's what happens with me. That's what I was seeing with my twin, right? I was seeing stuff happening and I was like, what are you doing? But I was picking up what was going on with the neighbors. So it can be confusing. So I said to her, tell Spirit, look, I can't have you doing this. I mean, if you want me to do this work, if you want me to help these people, that's fine, but let me help them in my sleep while I'm dreaming because this is upsetting for me. And she says she hasn't had difficulties. I mean, she hasn't talked to me about it since then. I've told Spirit too, it's difficult for me. I didn't want to deal with the dead at all. I didn't want to deal with it. And apparently I got to the place where I was capable. I probably wasn't capable of handling it at the time, and then it started coming through while I was reading for people, and their loved ones came through, which was actually was wonderful for me. It was excruciatingly painful for me because I was feeling all of their agony and remorse and pain and sadness and their families. But it was wonderful because it gave answers to people who didn't understand what had happened, and it let them have that communication with the person on the other side, right? No, they didn't mean to kill themselves. They had a heart attack. No, yes, they were doing drugs, but they didn't mean, it was an overdose. You know, their artery, what was it? I was showing one who didn't, he knew he was pushing it, but he wasn't able to drown out the voices, or he wasn't able to drown out his sadness. That's what he had, sadness. And he overdosed. And when he overdosed, it blew his artery. His carotid artery, is that what it is? I don't know what it was. I can't remember now. But at the time, I named what it was. And I didn't obviously know what it was. It was helpful. So thank you, Erika, for allowing me to use your gift coming to me as a message that's going to help a lot of people. So as I said, Erika is an author. She's an artist. She is incredibly talented. And her and her husband just acquired their dream home, a farm. It's incredible with lots and lots of rooms, and she's got a river freaking running through her backyard and deer frolicking around her backyard. And she sends me, and she got 2 twin kittens and oh, I saw the twins. Oh my God, she got twin kittens. I know who this is. I'm getting all kinds of messages just going, woo. Twin kittens, and and she's got her trusty dog, and she has her dogs coming through in spirit to me a lot, and I know that they come through to her too. So she sent me a message yesterday, and she was saying, are you going to be home? Are you home on Thursday? And I said, probably, God knows, I don't know what's happening in an hour. I didn't even know that it was the week. I thought it was the weekend. I lost the whole weekend. She goes, there's a package coming. Now, this is what she said. When the world is burning with anger, divisiveness, and fear, a small voice in the storm will bring peace of mind and speak to the vulnerability and courage of holding space for the more beautiful world our hearts know is possible. And I said, I love that. Truth. Package? Whee! And she goes, that's a hint as to what's in the package. And I said, oh my God, is it your book? And she said, no. And I said, a positive affirmation calendar book? Because I always say I like those, right? And then I'm like, don't tell me. I want to be surprised. I can open it online and you can see my reaction. Because I want people to see. You know, it's fun to be there when they open. Ooh, I'm seeing orbs. I'm seeing them with my own vision. I am wondering if they're showing up. I noticed that they showed up yesterday on yesterday's reading, and I didn't pay attention when I was reading because I was wearing my glasses. That's why I couldn't see them. Because now I've got one eye that's seeing up close and one eye that's seeing far away. I was able to grab them. Interesting. I like that. So what's another reason that Erika is hysterical is she sends me a message this morning. She sends me, and I don't see it. It's a picture, right? And I don't see it first. I see the words. Does that location look familiar? She lived in this really freaking amazing old building in the countryside, and I stayed with her there. What was it, Erika? It was an old mill, like what was it called? I can't remember. I'm blowing this, I know. It's really freaking cool. And she lived there for a couple of years, and she had to leave and go back to her husband. Her and her husband kind of had separated, and they went back, but leaving that place was really hard for her because she was so attached to it, right? And she felt a kinship. She had some really amazing things happen in that place. She took me on a tour, and I saw things, weird things, and I was saying, oh my God, you could totally hang somebody from those rafters. And she's like, okay, thanks. But I was getting stuff. She had like a secret garden. She had all kinds of cool things in that place. So she was sad because the woman who she bought the place from moved back to it, but wasn't able to keep it and was losing it. So she said, does this location look familiar? And I said, before I look, I'm imagining, is it where your place used to stand? Thinking she was showing me that it had been leveled, which would have been devastating for her, right? And then I said, and then she goes, and then I opened the picture, and it's my front porch. And I'm like, oh my God, I've got no makeup on, and I'm not opening it online without makeup, and my hair is still soaking wet, right? And I said, I'll get my hair done and makeup on, and then we'll open it online. So that's what we're doing. So you saw her beautiful words, right? She's in love with old buildings, fascinated with very, very old buildings and with hidden staircases. And we share that. We have, what was that message, the message that I got in the reading yesterday? That there is a message, there's a hidden message within the glass. But I said there's a hidden message, and I saw a message within a scrambled license plate yesterday, and there's a message I saw on a scrambled name that somebody gave me. So we're both in love with the same things. Oh my God, I want to look. We're gonna look. A gift for you from Erika. Oh my God. Leading with Love, Inspiration for Spiritual Activists. Illustrations by Maud White, edited by who is it written by? It's so heavy. It's my color. It's my soul color. It's got a butterfly, a white butterfly. Leading with love. Isn't that what we do? Right? The light. Leading with love. Yesterday I said about how do we fight the things that are going on? How do we fight the corruption? How do we fight the dark energy? By love bombing, right? Not war. My friend Keisha is in the military, and I said I would never ever work for the military, and I always said I would never be with someone in the military. And she says, wow, you've got a real aversion to that, don't you? And I said, I don't believe in war. I fight against it, I mean, to me, I want to love this world, not blow it up. And so yesterday we all got a message, actually she did when I did a reading, The message was from Spirit was, you have a wish. What would you like? Ask for it and be greedy about it. Set your intention right now. And she's been concerned, you know, I mean, I'm concerned because there's a possibility she's going to go off to Iran or Iraq in the war. And I said, I'm asking for love to intercede. I'm asking for something to get inside the hearts of the people that are screwing things up and stop that, because I don't want to go to war. That's what I asked. So that's how we lead, with love. That was what I asked Spirit, and I said, you can do it. Figure it out, whatever it is. Whew, Erika, this is so heavy. It feels really good. It feels like my leopard skin, whatever this is my snow leopard, right? Remember I said this crystal feels soft? This feels soft. I'm excited to open it. It's got a place for me to put my name. Oh my God. She's she's a reader, big time a reader. And our friend Caitlin, she's a big reader too. Now, and I always say, you know, can't you imagine us in this really cool place reading with the rain falling outside? We're all snuggly inside with our blanket and our cats and our dog. Oh my God, you know, I've got to tell you something that's really funny. You're all gonna laugh. I don't have a lot of time to read. I'm supposed to write a book about my freaking experiences, right? And I always say I can't write the book until I end up with my twin. But I don't even have time to read. And so I've got books sitting next to my bed that I don't read. You're gonna laugh at me. It's got really big writing. It's got really big writing, which makes it easier. Okay, so this is what came up first. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Martin Luther King. And I gave I freaking love this, Erika. I love it. It feels good in my hands. It feels good in my hands. It's so interesting. It's heavy. It's heavy, but it's soft. It's like our job as light workers, right? It's heavy work, but it's light for us too. It's soft. It's love. I love this. The next thing that opened up, Earth is humankind's unblinking witness. So save it. Look at my forest. Everything is white. I gave a message to my client this morning, and I said, your message, and I always say, when I give a message to others, it's also a message to self from Spirit, right? Oh my God, I totally saw a big light just go by. And the message is white. She's dressed all in white, or there's a white flower, or she's wearing a rainbow flower in her hair. There's something about white, being dressed in white, or the rainbow flower. And what's interesting is this is white. It's all white. Look at the flowers. It's white, the pages that I'm opening up. So I was getting, and also Spirit said to us yesterday, something wonderful is about to happen. Oh, in my last reading, maybe it wasn't on a live reading. Whenever I do anything, I see the eyes of my parents and grandparents in me. When I worked with villagers, I always had the impression that I was doing the work together with them, and also with the loving hands of those friends who saved a handful of rice or a few dong to support the work. My hands were their hands. My love was the wonderful work of the network of ancestors, parents, relatives, and friends born in me. The work I have done is the work of everyone. It is not just my work. This is really good because I said I wish my mom was alive so we could do this work together. But we are, because that's who keeps showing up, is my mom, right? And I ran outside yesterday and I did something and I said, oh, for God's sake. And I said, you sound just like Grandma, my grandma. And I am. Grandma's my hero, and I emulate. That's who I want to emulate, right? And aspects of my mother too. So, and even my stepfather, who raised me and who doesn't really talk to me much right now, but he raised me to be a very hard worker, very conscientious, very honest, and give more of myself, and be creative, right? And not really care what anybody else thinks. So I love this because that's what we're doing, and we're supposed to be teaching our children this. And remember, I was speaking yesterday about we're just one light in a string, right? Oh, God. Here's the white flower. To prevent the next war, we have to practice peace today. If we establish peace in our hearts and our way of looking at things and in our way of being with each other and with the world, then we are doing the best to make sure the next war will not come. War is the fruit of our collective consciousness. If we wait until another war is imminent to begin to practice peace, it will be too late. Peace begins here now. So what is it that you wish? I said, Eric, my friend who is in the military, she got that. She was having a wish granted. I said, Spirit's asking you, what do you wish? Do you want to go? I showed her, in front of her on one side was someone going to war. They showed me war as the ice cold bitch. And on this side, they showed the mother, which is her. And then they showed me her in the middle with her eyes closed. And I said, what would you choose? Do you want to go to war because you've worked all this time to learn how to do this? Or do you want to stay with your boys? She's got twin boys, beautiful little boys. And this morning, I said to myself, I wish I could be there. I would love to be their aunt. They're beautiful, those little boys, and they don't need their mother in war. So you get a chance. You get a choice. Ask Spirit. Say to Spirit, I don't want to go. I want to retire as is planned. I want to be with my boys. My wish was, when they asked me, I don't want the war. Do whatever you do. Whatever you do. This is called leading with love, right? Do whatever you need to do to get inside them and stop this from happening, because too many people are hurt. And that's our family. Doesn't freaking matter what country they are. And that's why I don't believe in war. Those are my family, right? I've got family in Australia. I've got family all over the place. My son-in-law, Jacob, he's Jewish. His family is in Israel, right? No, I don't want war. In Buddhism, there's a lot of emphasis on meditating on the truth of suffering. This may be a bit depressing, but when we see our faults clearly, we're also able to see the possibility of freeing ourselves from them. Seeing our faults has very much to do with our capacity for awakening. It's not fun to look at your faults, right? One of my eyes has to see things close up while the others look at the big picture, right? But that's about awakening. It's awakening. It's the nautilus of growth, right? We start out this little one and then we grow. And look how we stretch as we grow. Those stretch marks are our scars and our symbol of victory and accomplishment. I love this book. I freaking love this book. And I'm going to ask for Erika, what is the one message in here that stands out that will, for us? Okay, that doesn't count. Well, it's where I could order their catalog, get a copy, and it says contributors. So the fact that Erika and I are both contributors to this love movement. Correct for Neutrality. She is an amazing light worker and gives of herself often, and her gifts are immense. Correct for Neutrality. I'm really lucky. I am. My twin once said to me, I said to him, I don't say your name because I didn't at the time. I don't say your name on Facebook. And he said, why would you even say that? I hate social media. It's the downfall of our culture and mind-sucking. And he went off for a while, right? And I'm like, damn. And I thought, okay, I get that. Totally. I get attacked. There's all kinds of things that people say and do on social media that is destructive, right? But Spirit asked me to use this medium. Why? Because I can reach a great number of people with one video, right? But I've now learned that I've also been able to connect with my soul family all around the world and develop friendships before even meeting them. I hadn't even met Erika and we developed a friendship. I've got friendships with people in Australia that I've never met before. Judy, that is on Instagram, that's where I met her. And now she's a Facebook friend as well. That's the one that I sent the Reiki to because she was suffering after having, and I didn't know why she was suffering, remember? And how she felt that Reiki. And then I'm shown why we're meeting all of these people and why is this occurring? And I said to him, look, it can do wonderful things too, right? And this is a man who only gives me maybe 3 or 4 words, right, when he would respond to me. And after about a half an hour of him not saying anything, I wrote back and I said, wow, you know, I listened to what you had to say and I understood that. And I acknowledge that you're correct in what you're saying. But I write back to you why it's important that I use this and what I'm doing with it. And this is my work. This is my path. This is why I'm here. And I don't even hear anything from you. And he wrote back, I read everything you're saying. I'm processing. So here is the message that pops out. Tips on surviving the regime. Respect yourself and speak for others. Do one small thing every day to prove the existence of justice. Movements are born of critical connections rather than critical mass. We're all connecting with each other for a reason. I love that. Did you hear that line? Woo, child. I have no prejudice against any nationality. None at all. My girlfriend Erika, not my girlfriend Erika, sorry. My girlfriend Keisha, she's the one with the twin little guys. She's an island girl. And I think their father was black, a light-skinned black little, but those boys are the most beautiful boys I've ever seen. One of them is extremely connected to spirit and is very worried about her all the time, is always seeing things. And that's why I want her to be able to stay home, because that would be a lot of pressure to put on that little boy for her to go off to war. So there's my intention to go out into the world. You can wish for what you want. I want you safe with your kids. I love it. I love it. I would suggest anybody get this. Leading with Love, Inspiration for Spiritual Activists by Maud White is the illustrations are. It's edited by Hisei Matsuda. And who freaking wrote it? Who wrote it? Erika, if you wrote this, I'm gonna die. To my mother, who is a compass and a beacon, MW. To Maya, Leah, and Nina. Wow, I'm Leo, Maya, Leo, and Nina. I'm getting so many messages in this. You have no idea. HM. By Jess. Oh man, cover and text design by Jess. Okay, I'm getting a message in that. Illustrations by Maud, photographs Gary Gold, illustrator Mallory. Who wrote it? I hate it when people have, what is it, ghostwriters, right? I think somebody I'm in love with is a ghostwriter. I know he is. I don't know. It's not freaking telling. Oh, I knew it. Ellie. Ellie is a Jewish writer. Oh my God. Okay, so I don't know who freaking wrote it. It doesn't say. If you wrote it, I'm going to die here. Whoever it is MW. And they wrote it to their mother, who was their compass and their beacon of light. How beautiful is that? I really can't see who wrote it, you guys. Maybe it's a collaboration. Yeah, but who put it together? Cover and text, illustrations, photographs, illustrations, editor, translation. Told you, follow you through the dark. I can't get enough. That's my ghostwriter of a lover. I'm a sucker for you. So it was published in Berkeley. I don't know why. It's gonna bother me. I don't know. It's badass though. Freaking love it. Thank you so much. Love you.